Hi, welcome, and I hope you're doing well. Here I have the iPhone 7. You can see that the screen is pretty bad. Also, the LCD screen is not working. I can feel the clicker and I can feel vibration, and the phone actually rings. In other words, that tells me the phone is still working, except the cracked screen and the LCD needs to be replaced. Now the phone has a little bit bent, meaning that it curved to this direction, and I'll try to rebend it earlier just by putting force on the opposite side of the base. So if it bends on this side, you just have to rebend it back to that side. Anyway, so in this video I'll be doing a step-by-step on how to replace the iPhone 7 cracked screen with the LCD. So first you need to remove the two screws at the bottom here. I have the link in the description below where it direct you to either Amazon or eBay, where you can buy the tools that I'll be using today, and also the screen replacement itself. This screen comes with the digitizer and the LCD, so it's one piece together. Alright, so the next step I'll be using is the metal prying tool. What I'm trying to do is to pry open the broken glass, and this iPhone here is water resistant, meaning that they have a seal all around the corner, so you may find some challenge to open up the seal because you actually need to cut the seal open in order to remove the screen, and that seal is to prevent the water from going in, at the same time prevents dust going into the phone. Alright, once you cut open the seal, you can lift the phone to your right. That's how you open it. And let's go ahead and remove the bracket here. So this bracket is held by Y screw or the tri screw. Let's go ahead and remove them. There are 4 screws holding onto the bracket. So once you remove the 4 screws, the bracket will just come right off without any problem by doing that. And the next step you like to do is disconnect the battery. This is the battery connector. Go ahead and remove that by just using a plastic prying tool. I stuck it underneath and just pry it open. Once you do that, you can actually continue with these 2 little cables. Those are for the LCD and the flex cable. Now we're going to come back here and do for the front camera. So this front camera and the ear speaker is connected through this cable, but we need to remove the bracket, the 2 screws that holds onto the bracket. Then we can pry open that front camera cable. Alright, once you have done that, pretty much the phone is ready to do a swap, meaning that we will try to transfer everything from here over to this new screen here. Okay, so let's go ahead and start removing the screws. This is a Y screw or the tri screw. There are 3 on one side. I'm working on another 3 on the other side, so there's 6 in total. All the screws are the same, so it's okay if you match them. Now once you remove all 6 of them, the next step I like to do is to remove the bracket for this home button here. Alright, so there are 4 screws and the bracket come right off. And the next step I like to do is disconnect the cable. So I flip the cable, and this one goes to flip it to your left, and make sure that you know how opposite direction I'm looking at. And at this time I like to be gently lift this thing up. Okay, and use a metal prying tool, tuck it underneath the cable. So they do have a double-sided tape that tape the cable down for this home button right at this cable here. So I dig it underneath the cable and separate the double-sided tape. You want to save the original home button because that the Touch ID is registered with the phone. So if you want to continue using the fingerprint the Touch ID, you need to save your original home button. But for some reason that you break it, that's okay. It's not a big problem. You can replace with the third-party home button. However, the Touch ID wouldn't work. In other words, you would have to use the passcode every time to log in. Alright, once you have removed all the screws, remove the bracket, go ahead and remove the speaker. And once the speaker is out, and here you want to be careful. What I'm doing right now is to remove the sensor here. There's a little proximity sensor. I kind of tuck it, dig deep enough, tuck it underneath that sensor, and that's how the sensor could just come right off. Okay, at the same time right now we'll be working on the cable. Try to remove the entire cable all together with the speaker here, and I'm going underneath that cable. Alright, so this is the entire cable that I just removed. I had to go underneath this cable right here to pry it open. Alright, so right now once that thing is removed, we can come back here and just peel the this plastic here. This plastic is for the ear speaker that covers up the phone. So the new screen has it, right? They already pre-installed with it. So we just have to transfer this cable back in here. Alright, it's very straightforward. You just have to do the reverse process. Go ahead and align the cable. There's these two little dots. Align with that, and then go ahead and press it down. It will sit right into that bracket. You need to find get a good grip of it, and once it's in, and transfer the ear speaker back on, and go ahead and cover up the front camera and put the bracket back on here. So let's go ahead and put the screws. Okay, what I like to do is I like to transfer the metal plate. Do not forget that we need to reuse this metal plate here. This metal plate is double-sided tape at the bottom of the cable, so go ahead and cut it up. Alright, separate them by slicing through the metal prying tool, and once you have that in the right position, do not forget to transfer back in. So I like to push the cable back down, let it sit flat in the right position, just like that. And once they're in the right position, flat down, and this is where I will just move the bracket back in. Okay, once I have the bracket in, remember all the screws on the side. Let's go ahead and put it back. So the process of this phone repair is not that difficult, but it just takes some time and confidence. Do not rush yourself to do it. Just watch the video again and again if you need more assistance. but it's all about taking the screw apart, taking things apart, and putting them back together. That's very straightforward. If you're a handy person enough, I think this should not be any problem for you. But if this is your first time doing the screen repair, you might feel a little bit challenging. But if you spend enough time and do not rush yourself, I think it's not a difficult process to do. Alright, so the next step I like to do is to push through the home button from the inside out or from the outside in. So coming from the outside of the screen, slide it in to the inside, and then at this point here, what I like to do next is to lift this cable up, okay, and have the home button sit in so that the cable can flip back on and lock it. Alright, so that is done. The next step I like to do is to transfer the home button bracket back on. So there are 4 screws that holds on to the home button bracket. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so once that is done, do not forget to finish up the camera. Earlier I put 3 screws for the top, and right now I'm coming back to install the 3 screws at the bottom. Alright, so that is all done. So the next step, let's go ahead and connect the cable back in. This flex cable, they're just like Lego. Once you find them in the right position, they can just snap it in without any problem. It's very straightforward. You don't have to put a lot of pressure to push it down. You just have to align them in the right position. Once they're in the right position, you can just press it. It would go straight in. Alright, so let's go ahead and install this bracket. So if you are watching this video because of your iPhone 7 has a cracked screen, and if you feel like you want to change it out, I encourage you to do that. It is not that difficult. So if you do happen to change out your broken screen, please comment below. Let me know how did you do. I'd like to hear from you whether you were able to follow along the video and get the screen repaired for yourself, or maybe you need extra help. You can just comment below, and I'm happy to answer the questions for you. Okay, other than that, I think if you do not mind, just click a like button and subscribe if you haven't. I really appreciate you for doing that. That helps me to grow the channel. Alright, so once all the screws and the cables are in the right place, you see this little white slider. I like to slide it in from the top first, so slide it all the way in, and then go ahead and press it down. And I just want to clean off this little adhesive double-sided tape here. Press it down, and then you should have it. And do not forget to put the 2 screws back in. They are just right at the bottom here. So my phone is a little bit bent, so I might have some difficulty to put the last screw in it, but I'll try my best by pressing it down at the same time. Oops. Alright. Alright, so it looks like it's in. And yeah, so this is the entire process on how to do the iPhone screen repair. So as you can see, the phone is powering up, the LCD is working good, and yeah, so this is it. So until next time, please take care. Feel free to like the video and comment below. Let me know how did you do. Thank you, take care, and until next time, bye bye.